Pop. Side effects range from temperature ambivalence, lucid nostalgia, the feeling of being seen by something vast, and a soft pulsing hum behind your eyes. If you love listening to hard rock, then your ears are probably no stranger to the anthems, antics, and untimely annihilation of early 90s hair metal band Pistols and Posies. And it was this seminal rock ballad, Turn the Other Cheek, from the Billboard 200 number 199 album, Craving for Carnage, that made the band look set to take over the entire world. But it was also this song, seminal rock ballad, Turn the Other Cheek, from the Billboard 200 number 199 album, Craving for Carnage, along with an increasingly strained relationship between frenetic frontman Pistol Dandelion and virtuoso guitarist Solomon Hash Phillips, that would be the final nail in the coffin of the last straw that broke the camel's back, which reached the end of the line for the biggest band ever that never actually was, and ultimately end in tragedy. But what was it that surgically tore these childhood conjoined friends apart? And just what was their hit song even about? And how did it all end? Did it all end? Why? Who? What? And most importantly, why? Why? Did Posies start to smell of poo? Who? Was it pistols at dawn? It's time to find out in Riffs and Rifts, the Pistols and Posies story. The only child of Irish, Scottish, Italian, Portuguese, English, French, German, Italian immigrants, Eugene Eli Lieber III, aka Pistol Dandelion, was born in LA in 1967, at the height of the heat during the Summer of Love. So, it was no surprise that he displayed a free-spirited, anti-authority attitude that would see him having more than a few unsurprising run-ins with the law, as he recalls during this never-before-seen final interview filmed shortly before the tragically hilarious events that led to the final end of the band.
So, I had more than a few run-ins with the law when I was a kid, sure. Didn't everyone? Didn't you?
Brian's at the door.
Why are you asking that?
How come? Vandalism and petty theft? Disturbing the peace?
Nah. Nothing like that. No. I was known as a bit of a badass.
Oh yeah? Why?
No. I mean, I had a badass. I was known as having a badass. When I needed to go, I needed to go. No was gonna stop me.
And it was especially this badass behavior that would contribute to the eventual downfall of the band. But it was also especially how the two main players in this stage show of a rock opera that played out on television for the entire theater of the world to see would meet, as Hash recalled during an interview with Rock and Roll magazine in 1990. Hash said he was just always shitting. He'd ask for a hall pass to go take a shit, and the teacher would be like, "No, that's the 5th time this class." And he'd be like, "But I'm gonna explode if I don't take a shit." I liked that about him. He was always shitting.
He was always shitting.
So why is he called Hash?
Why is he called Hash? Because he's smoking all the time.
What, like smoking hash?
No. Crack.
Well, why don't you call him Crack?
No. Everyone just called him Hash.
As the two youngsters aged, they grew older, and their salad days became halcyon, neon-filled bright nights when they decided to do what everyone else decided to do in the early 1980s. Cocaine. But along with cocaine, they decided to do what many decided to do in the early 1980s. Form a band. Originally called Piston, Dandelion, and Hash Rock Music Band, but later renamed to the now legendary Pistols and Posies.
Okay, this might be hard for you to understand. Blibbly. The name came to me in a dream. Like the providence of God reached out, touched me, saying, "Piston, you are dreaming, and you should call your band this name."
Pistols and Posies?
No. Piston, Dandelion, and Hash Rock Music Band. Not the other one.
Well, why didn't you keep that name?
Well,
Why did Pistols and Posies?
Hash thought the PDHRMB was too long as an acronym. And Pistols and Posies shortened to PP. So we like that.
Because it sounds like PP.
Oh my God. I never realized that.
Pistols and Posies, or PP, hit the LA nightlife like a duck hit to water on the ground running. But Hash recalled that their gigs weren't always Excelsior rock and roll. "We couldn't play any instruments," he said during an interview with Kerplunk magazine in 1995. "So it was just a cappella and vocal harmony, which didn't really work for hard rock. But neither of us could sing either, so, well, it just didn't really work at all."
It just didn't really work at all.
The pair knew that in order to make the big time, they'd have to spend big time getting bigger at playing in time to make a name for themselves. But even at this early stage, spooky hit record producer Peter Phantom saw something in them.
I saw something in them. Phantom, he saw something in us. When he saw us perform, it was like he'd seen a Peter.
A ghost?
No. A specter.
A ghost?
I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
Under the guidance of Phantom, PP started to flow, dripping with golden yellow raw talent. Hash was a natural at slashing on the guitar, and despite being legally tone deaf, Dandelion had a stage and set presence that demanded presence from all who set to see him. But while they may have been gigging a lot, there wasn't much giggling a lot at all behind the scenes, as Hash recalls the friction between the two founders of the band was already starting to ferment, like weak old fish sealed in a mason jar to make seawater vodka. Piston wanted to rename the band to Pistons, Pistols, and Posies, and I wasn't having it. We didn't talk for an entire week, mainly because I was upstate visiting my uncle, and there was no phone line, but also because I was cross with him.
Hash wanted to rename the band Hash Frown. Yeah, I wasn't having any of it. It was too intellectual. It would piss people off, you know?
How did you reconcile?
Eventually, I got him to agree to name the first album if he kept the current name,
And he agreed?
Not exactly. I wanted to call the album Craving for Carne, because I was really, really into pizzas and antipasti at the time. But I was kind enough to meet him halfway and agree to Craving for Carnage. Yeah.
And that's when the band started to hit it big by hitting hard with a hard-hitting hard rock album that included hit and made it hard to put your Walkman down on hard surfaces. Billboard 200 number 199 album, Craving for Carnage. But not everyone had a taste for carnage, including lead guitarist Hash. That song was so fucking stupid, he said, referring to Turn the Other Cheek. If people knew what it was really about, they wouldn't lift their lighters to it. Hell, they wouldn't get their lighters anywhere near it.
They wouldn't get their lighters anywhere near it.
The true meaning behind the song, the enigmatic ode weaved within it, and the vague editing of the music video only helped to strengthen the scent of mystery, and interest in the band exploded like a pigeon eating rice. But it would only be after the band had broken up, and before the PP train had broken down, that the freight train of truth would finally reach its terminally final destination.
People just weren't ready for the truth, They never are. They say that the truth sets you free. But what if the truth is just, like a bomb or something?
Explosive.
Really, really difficult to turn off and has like lots of weird wires and shit, like red, blue, green, all that stuff. I'm colorblind, so they're dangerous.
The music video features Dandelion spending time in bed, apparently having to urgently leave for some undisclosed reason. The footage is interspliced with stock footage, cutaways of Dandelion playing the piano and looking wistful, as well as shots of Hash playing the guitar. But it's notably noted that Dandelion and Hash never actually, even for a second, truly appeared on screen at the same time. By that point, recalled Hash in an interview with Gentleman's Monthly, we just couldn't stand being around each other. Mainly because we were tired and had to sit down a lot, but also because he was just pissing me off.
He was just pissing me off.
Truth is that Hash was smoking more crack, and it was getting out of control, we'd come into the studio and we just couldn't stand to be around each other, mainly because, we were sitting down, but also because his bad attitude, man.
How come?
Bad attitude. I'm a perfectionist, and I'm also lactose intolerant. I don't know if I've said that, but it was getting really serious, and it was just making it impossible to be in the same room. So his professionalism was just going straight out the window, Like on the album, he didn't record any of the music. What he did was he got the studio guy to record every single note in every single way it could be played on the guitar, and just to use that. And so the studio guy, Rick, had to arrange what Hash had played into the form of the song. In a way, Rick was the fourth member of the Beatles in that respect.
It was impossible to be in the same room, Hash confirmed when speaking with Gathering Moss magazine. The room smelled so bad. His lactose intolerance was always there, but it had gotten out of control. He insisted on eating pizza and dairy produce all the time. It was Fart City.
It was Fart City.
Fart City had driven the number 2 of them to the city limits of farts and crack at the crack of dawn, and they could no longer even perform together. And the grim realization of the truth behind Turn the Other Cheek only drove them away from Fart City even further apart from one another. That song, man, Hash said during an interview with Atlantic Homeware. I mean, I always knew, but when he admitted it, it was all over.
It was all over.
So, what is Turn the Other Cheek really about?
Man, if I told you the truth, I'd have to kill you.
No, that's fine. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Well, people think it's about like leaving a loved one or saying goodbye or being forgiven or whatever. All that bullshit. But really, it's about taking a shit. Yeah, like a mean shit. Like when you have to get up during the night because you need to go because you ate the pizza the night before and your stomach is going like, and you're rolling around because your stomach's talking to you. Like you just have to go, but you don't want to because you're comfortable in bed and you're having a good time, and then you get to doing the business. You gone in the bathroom, doing that little dance and turning the cheeks around and stuff, and moving shit out so it can get out, and that's just kind of what the song is about. I know it's not very pretty, it's not what people want to hear, but that's what the song's about. What am I supposed to tell you? That it's about the other stuff, the love and shit? It's just about the shit. Sorry, pal. We done here? It's bullshit.
And there you have it. One of the biggest ballad hits of the 90s was an homage to toilet trouble, an ode to toilette, a fart joke. The biggest hit was about letting one rip, and rip it did, to the band, who never really survived the fallout of falling out, or the truth. Hash, having left the band, formed his own band, Hash's Armpit, but it never achieved the same status as PP. Piston continued performing and touring with Pistols and Posies until the fateful night that sealed his fate and the fate of the fateful band forever. During the 5th farewell tour, while performing Turn the Other Cheek on stage, Piston attempted to fire a flower out of a pistol, which was part of the performance. Unbeknownst to him, the gun had been loaded with a live flower, and when he pulled the trigger of the pistol, it was pushing up posies for the front man. The only flowers he'd be getting would be at his casket. There was no time to smell the roses. It was a thorn in his side. He was dead. And that's the story of Pistols and Posies, a band that bloomed but was doomed to wither because of fart jokes, riffs and rifts, and a posy in a pistol. Thank you for watching Riffs and Rifts.
What do you really think about Guns N' Roses?
I've never heard of them.